Brasil, meu Brasil brasileiro. O Brasil, samba que dá bambolear e faz gingar. O Brasil do meu amor, terra de nosso Senhor. Brasil, Brasil, esse coqueiro que dá coco foi onde eu amarro a minha rede nas noites claras de luar. Esse Brasil lindo e trigueiro é o meu Brasil brasileiro, terra de samba e pandeiro. Brasil, pra mim, Brasil, Brasil.
You're not going far in this or any World Cup if you can't handle pressure, and the pressure is well and truly on for these England players this evening. A win against Uruguay tonight and we'll be well on our way. Our second defeat, and well, it just doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Roy Hodgson, reassuringly, is a study in nonchalance. Hello from Brazil, where to all intents and purposes, England and Uruguay are playing knockout football already.
And I'm always confident in our team, I'm always confident in how we play. I'm not worrying about Uruguay, I'm not worrying about anyone.
Tough game now against Uruguay, and we have to go and try and get them 3 points.
We've got the ability, we've got the firepower, we can win the next two.
England's welcome adventure. Ball to the shirt.
Check me out though. Look. It's cops to dodge in the city of God, to reach the goals of these soccer stars. It's records to break, medals to take, flags to wave. The city is ours, its only lights is gold from a beamer. It's nice to pray in front of Christ the Redeemer. Whom shall I fear? It's foretold by Kalorjado. Most Bronx tales don't end well, especially when your own country treats you like an infidel. I am Godzilla of these favelas. New car.
48 years since England ruled the world. Hopes are as high as ever.
The Arena de Sao Paulo, the stage for the opening game of this World Cup, is the venue tonight. The big question has been, would he play or would he not play? And by he, I mean him. And I can confirm that Luis Suarez will start for Uruguay this evening. Whether he's 100% fit or not is another matter entirely. Lee Dixon, Gus Poyet and Glenn Hoddle are here. Ian Wright would, of course, have been part of our coverage tonight had he not had to fly home in distressing circumstances. You've probably read about. Our best wishes, naturally, go to Ian and his family. Righty, we know you're watching. We miss you. So, to the matter at hand. Every England fan has been asking every England fan they meet today, what do you reckon? So let me put that to you. What do you reckon, Glenn?
Well, I think we can win it if we play anywhere near like we did against Italy. I really feel we have to get a similar performance to that, certainly with the ball. We got in some great areas against Italy. I think if we have enough of the ball, I think we'll have more ball than we against Uruguay. But yeah, I think there's a lot of optimism there. We need to maybe work on a few things that are going to improve us. But I think the boys in that dressing room, and that's the key, it's the management and the boys in that dressing room will fancy their chances today. I really feel they'll be up for this in a confident mood because they played reasonably well. OK. Gus, I'll come to you in a second. But Lee, to you first. I think I heard you say the other day you can pick any score here. Are you any more confident than that now?
I'm a bit more confident after seeing the tape of the Italy game again, seeing all the positive stuff, as Glenn mentioned, going forward. I thought we created chances. I thought our flair players and our pace troubled Italy at times, which is not easy. So there's lots of positives. You know, we're playing a side as well in Uruguay that were average at best in their first game. Costa Rica, in the end, were worthy winners. They've lost their captain. They've got a semi-fit Suarez, and make no mistake, he won't be 100% fit. There's no way in the time he's had can he be 100% fit. He's not played any games, so he's going to be a little bit below par. Let's hope a lot as far as England are concerned, but I do think that we've got enough to trouble them. It's just when we haven't got the ball. Well, we're not playing a team that has got Pirlo in the side.
For reasons that aren't clear to me, you two are both in Uruguay colours, and then Gustavo, you're in England colours.
We've swapped shirts.
It's a friendly here, no in Sao Paulo.
So how do you feel about things? Are you confident on Uruguay's behalf?
Well, I always trust the manager, and it surprised me, with a few things that he's going to try, saying that we always have to suffer. In Uruguay, we don't do things easily. We always qualify.
Try being English, mate.
That's right. Because it's always something happens, something unexpected, and we need to go against everybody now. And I think today the key is how good Luis Suarez can be, because I think it's a little bit of worriness in England about Luis. And then, of course, if we can be a bit better on the ball.
OK. Just to go through the maths, if you like, a defeat wouldn't necessarily mean the end for England, but it wouldn't be far off. A draw wouldn't be an absolute disaster. As long as Costa Rica don't beat Italy tomorrow, it would then still be in our own hands. All in all, though, I think we can agree that a win tonight would be much the most satisfactory outcome all round. Well, for everyone but Gus here. Let's go to Gabriel Clark now. He's got the teams for us.
Well, the key team news was never going to concern an Englishman, but a Uruguayan, and Luis Suarez, 4 weeks after his knee operation, is fit and ready to start for Uruguay. England will go with the same 11 that started the match against Italy. This then is the England formation, just one change to it, with Wayne Rooney reverting to his preferred central role behind the striker Daniel Sturridge, Raheem Sterling on the right and Danny Welbeck starting on the left. Hodgson wants his team to be bold and fearless, as they were for large parts of the game against Italy. Uruguay were very poor against Costa Rica. Their coach, Oscar Tabarez, said as much yesterday. He admits Suarez is not 100% fit, but he resumes his partnership with Edinson Cavani. They've made 5 changes in all. Among them, teenage central defender Jose Maria Jimenez comes in for the injured captain, Diego Lugano. Cavani warned England yesterday, "You will have to fight to beat us." But for all the attacking talent on show, Steven Gerrard said yesterday, the key will be who defends better.
So who is going to defend better then? Let's look at the England team first, Glenn. It's more or less what we were expecting, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think for me, I think Sterling maybe might be better on the left than the right, in the sense that I think Leighton Baines needs a little bit more protection. I think he does that job well for Liverpool when he does play wide, and that would give him an opportunity to get a new man coming in right back position. But basically, Rooney in there, in the hole. I would say to Wayne Rooney today, look, get in the box. We want you in and around the box. Not worried about how you're playing, how you're creating. Think goals today, Wayne. Get yourself up there with Sturridge, arrive in that penalty area and get yourself a goal. And if he has that as his #1 priority, I think you'll see him have a much simpler game for him, and the expectations that are on his shoulders will come out.
Gus, what do you make of that team from a Uruguayan point of view when you see the England team? Is that the kind of worst team from your point of view we could have picked, if you get my drift? Is that the one most likely to beat you?
I think the biggest difference is that England is believing in what they've done in the previous game, and they go more or less the same, with Rooney, for me, in his best position. And on the other hand, Uruguay made 5 changes, completely different team. I don't know why it's going to happen. So there is no consistency. I will ask myself, if I was a manager, did I pick the team rightly the other day or I made a mistake? So wait and see.
Well, there's no doubt they didn't play well the other day, Uruguay, and so he's made changes. He's tried to sort of, I think he's probably looked at the gaps in the Arsenal, in the England in front of the back four, where Italy got in time and time again, and Ribeiro just playing in that hole. I think he's going to be an area that they're going to try and hit, and that's important for England, because with Henderson and Gerrard plays that deeper role for Liverpool. When he plays alongside Henderson the other day, they were both on the same line and they just left that area free, and Italy exploited
I think also it's in the same unit. There's a lot of changes in the back four, and that's always a problem for a coach. You know, you want to keep a settled back four, and them changes, there's out of the 5, I think there's 3 new players in the back four.
And the young Jimenez, 19. He's 1995 born. I was already
Retired by then.
Yeah, nearly. So it's going to be impressive.
But Diego Lugano's injured, the skipper, which might work in your favour. Him not playing it means there's going to be an injection of pace because everyone's quicker than him, but he's been very important to you over the years.
He's a leader. He's a very, very good leader, and that helps the rest of the players around to feel comfortable. He takes responsibility, even making us play a little bit deep. Now we've got different youth in there, pace, so maybe we can press a little bit higher. It's going to be interesting to see how we're going to play the game.
OK. Matt Smith is lucky enough to be at the Arena de Sao Paulo alongside a player who had a big say in getting England to Brazil in the first place. His spectacular goal against Montenegro back in October was vital in the qualification stages. Unfortunately, injury prevented him being here with England as a player, but it's our delight to have him in Brazil as one of our pundits.
Thank you very much and welcome to a slightly autumnal Sao Paulo, which might be good news for England. I'm pretty sure the man alongside me, Andros Townsend, would much rather be out on that pitch than stood here. It's in some ways the next best thing. Does it frustrate sitting and standing this close?
Yeah, obviously being here does make it a lot more difficult, but obviously I would have loved to be playing in the World Cup. But since the turn of the years, my injuries have taken its toll, and effectively an ankle surgery ruled me out altogether. So obviously it's difficult, but I'm going to use this experience as inspiration to kind of come back better.
Given obviously that you can't be part of this, are you surprised at all with what Roy's done? Same team, just a slight positional change between Rooney and Sterling?
No, if I'm honest, I think Roy Hodgson always had in his mind to play Rooney out on the left against Italy, to allow Sterling to kind of get round the aging legs of Pirlo and kind of cause damage like he did. So now they're both back in their more familiar positions, and I'm sure Rooney will be even more effective than he was.
Now, from the other perspective, Suarez starts. You're injured at the moment. How fit could he be, 4 weeks or so after a minor operation?
I don't think he'll be fit. He had knee surgery 4 weeks ago, and I think if he was fit, he would have came on against Costa Rica when Uruguay were 2-1 down. So on that basis, I don't think he'll be fit, and hopefully, fingers crossed for England's sake, he won't do the damage that we know he can do.
And the sense from afar of the game in Manaus was that conditions were something of a factor. Today, certainly no excuses?
Yeah, no, coming here, the main positive was that the cooler weather, it's more like what we're used to in England. So that will give the boys a lot more energy to go forward and kind of create even more chances than they did against Italy.
We wish, frankly, that we'd brought a jumper or a jacket, and that just might be a good thing. More from us in Sao Paulo shortly.
Look forward to hearing more from them in the build-up to the 8 o'clock kickoff in Sao Paulo. Between both of these sides tonight, there are no fewer than 6 Liverpool players starting the game. When we return, we'll weigh up what will probably be the critical head-to-head clash between two of them, Luis Suarez and his striking partner, Daniel Sturridge. The Arena de Sao Paulo is the scene for England's latest World Cup adventure, or perish the thought, misadventure. England fans are there in their usual numbers, probably outnumbered by the Uruguayans, and yes, Luis Suarez does start. And the outcome tonight could well come down to which of Liverpool's 2 strikers finds the net for their respective countries.
So deadly together.
The priceless goal scorers of calibre.
Don't be shocked by the tone of my voice.
The prolific Luis Suarez.
Check out my new weapon of choice.
Daniel Sturridge, fabulous goal.
Don't be shocked by the tone of my voice.
The man they call El Pistolero.
Check out my new weapon of choice. Yeah.
Suarez. Sturridge! Oh, it's a beauty! Daniel Sturridge. And Suarez! Right at home on the biggest stage.
You need people like that can produce something when your country needs it most.
So, Suarez then. What's he like, A, under pressure, and B, if he's not quite fully fit?
Well, I think that the fitness is going to be an issue, and I hope that Uruguay use him very well in the beginning of the game, or as much as possible. You know, we cannot wait to use Luis to the 70th minute, maybe it's already finished. So the idea how we're going to get into his feet quickly, as well to make the back four of England, be worried about it, because we've been talking about Luis Suarez for 10 days or 2 months probably. From the moment he got injured, everything is about Luis Suarez playing or not playing, which is important for us to use it the right way in the beginning.
So can we deal with a 75% fit Suarez?
He's pretty good, 75% fit, it has to be said. Yeah, we can deal with him. I think he won't be the problem on his own. There'll be other problems. Picking players up in the hole where Suarez plays. Does he play high up as a main striker, or does he drop in there? I think there's going to be problems, but ultimately, the longer the game goes on, the more tired he's going to get. And I think he's going to be bursting with energy to begin with, but ultimately I think he's going to tire, that's for sure.
I mean, presumably it is greatly to England's advantage that he's up against so many Liverpool players who know how to deal with him. Perhaps they know how to wind him up. It's not the hardest thing to do, is it?
Well, I mean, Jagielka and Cahill have played against them time and time. I saw the Chelsea game this year. Cahill was excellent against Liverpool at the Bridge, against him. But you can't let Suarez turn, whatever positions he picks up. If you allow him to get in between our midfield and turn, and then get around the D and round the box, that is where he's at his greatest, and he's a real danger to any team in the world. So we must try and nullify that as many times as we can.
So I just wonder if it's the case of in this game, Uruguay are going to get 2 or 3 chances, England will get 2 or 3 chances, and it just comes down to who's most likely to take those chances, Suarez, Cavani if you like, and Sturridge or Rooney.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for England is that Sturridge has got his goal. He's off the mark and he's up and running. And striker's big positive for England.
How many sleepless nights were Uruguayans having in Montevideo last night, thinking, oh, could we deal with Sturridge? Do they worry about him?
To be totally honest, I don't think we too worry about England. We just worry about us. It's so bad what we've done against Costa Rica.
I think that's the beauty of us at the moment. We really do look good on the counter. I think we can break and hit people on the break quite easy with the pace that we've got. But I think
the fullbacks going wide on their own, or they were defending on their own, and that was something that maybe we can improve on tonight.
Listen, it's too late for us to get a message to Roy, but tell us what the best way of attacking you lot is.
I think the situation is simple. We need to try to find
who's we now. We as Uruguay.
We
just check.
Come on, come on.
It's only the
not because we swap shirts. It means that we are right.
Okay.
I think the idea is, if we go from England to Uruguay, you need to try to get him quickly now. The break is one of the options, and for what it looks, the space is going to be wide. So the analysis was perfect. If you really push the fullback, you're going to create that problem. The other way around, we need to get in between Luis Suarez, of course.
OK, let's go back to Sao Paulo for more with Matt and Andros.
Yes, welcome back to Sao Paulo, where the ground is rapidly filling. It's still pretty cool, quite breezy, conditions that should suit certainly England, maybe both teams. Now let's talk a little bit about these key individuals. Daniel Sturridge, first of all, a player you certainly have played with, seen develop. How good is he?
Yeah, he's a great player. I think we've seen time and time again this season, he can score from anywhere. When he comes inside on that left foot, it's so deadly. He can score from 25 yards, he can score from 5 yards. And hopefully we can get him on the ball inside the box and he can get us a goal.
He's really accelerated his progress in the last year or so. I guess for young players that can happen.
I think Daniel Sturridge always had the talent. He was at Chelsea and Man City and he wasn't really getting the opportunity. But he's come to Liverpool, and Brendan Rodgers has put an arm around him and given him the licence to play, and he's scoring goals now.
Now, what about Wayne Rooney? I know he becomes this totem for good and for ill sometimes for England fans. Brilliant when he delivers, but we expect so much of him.
Yeah, I think the press maybe put a bit too much on his shoulders, but in the Italy game, he was asked to play in a position foreign to him, and he did a good job. He got the assist for a goal, the all-important goal, and I think now he's in his position he likes. He's going to link up, play more. He's going to get in the box. He's going to get his shots off, and hopefully we can see a goal or an assist from Wayne tonight.
That would be delightful. At the other end of the pitch, Sturridge's club mate Suarez. We've talked a little bit about his fitness. Let's assume for a moment he is more or less fit. What kind of problems does he bring? When you've talked about him in a Tottenham-Liverpool game, how do you stop him if you can?
The bad news is I don't think you can stop him. I think once he's got the ball at his feet, he twists and turns, and he cannot make a mermaid. That's what the Liverpool fans say. So hopefully he's not fit, but if he is fit, I fear that he might cause us some problems.
Well, in which case, I sincerely hope you were right earlier with your medical assessment. More to come from Andros, who's itching, I tell you. He wishes he had his boots and obviously a good ankle. More from us shortly.
You can nutmeg a mermaid. That takes some doing, doesn't it? Earlier today, Colombia and Ivory Coast met in a lively encounter in Brasilia, both trying to make it 2 wins out of 2 in this World Cup. So that's 2 out of 2 for Colombia, who now look well placed to win Group C, which would mean they'd meet the runner-up in England's group in the next round. So they could be England's next opponents, or indeed Uruguay's in the round of 16. But let's not get ahead of ourselves at this stage. When we return, we'll hear from the man whose very safe hands need to be at their very safest. Short it won't be for want of proper preparation.
We know what this can do for the nation, and anything that can be done, we're doing.
This is knockout football, and no mistake. Lots of enjoyment round the ground, the usual party atmosphere. As ever, though, with these things, it's who's smiling at the end. That counts. Kick-off in Sao Paulo coming up at 8 o'clock. In a moment, we'll hear from Joe Hart. First, though, here are the thoughts of Roy Hodgson a little earlier in Sao Paulo.
Roy, first your team, same as the one that played against Italy, but a bit of tinkering with the formation. Just explain that.
Yeah, Raheem will go wide this time, and Wayne will play more central, but otherwise it's pretty much the same formation that we had against Italy.
Why'd you prefer that today?
Well, we were more concerned about PLO in the first game. We thought that Raheem was the best man to do that job, but today it's a different formation, a different Uruguay, so we've moved Wayne back into a more central position. But basically, as I said the last time, those 3 players are very interchangeable, and I'm expecting quite a lot of interchange amongst them during the course of the 90 minutes.
Balancing being bold and being solid defensively, is that one of the keys?
I think that's always the key, you know, whichever game you're playing, obviously the higher the stakes, the more important it becomes, I guess, or the more it comes into focus. But there's no doubt in all football matches you've got to balance attack and defence.
And how about just making sure the players embrace this occasion? You know the consequences if you lose, there's pressure with that, so how do you make sure that mindset's good?
Well, you have to trust them, you have to trust in their ability, you have to trust in their experience, you have to trust in their belief in themselves and the way we play, and I'm sure that they've got that faith and that belief. Football matches are football matches. You can never totally predict the outcome of a football match. All you can predict, I think, is that your team's in the right shape to play the game.
Roy, we wish you all the best.
Thanks, Gabriel. Thanks so much.
That's the boss. Let's hear from the keeper now. By his standards, he's not had quite the magnificent season we used to see him from him, but he's a Premier League title winner for the 2nd time, and he has the World Cup in his sights. He's as desperate as anyone in the camp to go as far as possible.
I'm trying to be the best I can be.
Come on, win a football match.
Nothing's enough.
Really is.
I want to keep winning, I want to keep doing well for my club, and I want to keep playing well for my country. You could call it getting the most out of your job.
Great save, son.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it more the better I get.
There's a brooding intensity to Joe Hart. In part, perhaps, it's a coping mechanism.
Go.
In the last 4 years, his has been a rapid rise. At the World Cup in South Africa, Fabio Capello called his 3rd choice keeper John. He wouldn't get his name wrong now. How do you compare to the goalkeeper who went to the 2010 World Cup?
Same guy. It's 4 years on. I'm not that young guy anymore, unfortunately. Being around the young lads, I never thought I'd hear myself say that, but I'm definitely not a young lad anymore.
Don't let me beat you on this last one.
I've obviously played a lot more football, been involved in a lot more big games, as they like to be called.
Fire!
That's largely meant an end to the innocence. With caps and medals comes responsibility. He cuts an obsessive figure on the training ground. And there's no louder voice in the tunnel.
Come on, start right.
Things come naturally to me. We're a strong team. I like to let off that we're confident, we feel powerful, we're strong, and we're ready to go.
The Rob Green moments in 2010 and how Rob dealt with them.
I've learnt probably more from Joe Hart moments, if I'm being honest. Rob was unbelievable the way he was in that tournament, how he was as a person. Great for me as a young keeper to see someone that I truly respect deal with a situation like he did.
And to think, last autumn, the World Cup was a speck on Hart's horizon. Dropped by his club, he suffered his first career blip. Too much, too soon, said the critics. England's friendly with Germany was Hart's only major game for 2 months.
It's more interesting for other people when you're not in the team. But for myself personally, I had the same things asked of me that I deal with every day. To improve, to be strong, and to try and be the best in the manager's eyes.
What do you make of the World Cup in Brazil?
Wow. You know, it's an amazing experience. Everything about this is the build-up, the excitement, the anticipation, being involved in it is unexplainable. It's different.
So it's too early to go home?
Way too early.
Before the Italy match, he talked frankly of winning the World Cup, and he's not lowered his sights.
Millions at home are hoping that this time there's a result to go with the performance. What's your message to them?
There's not much you can say. I'd be in the same boat if I wasn't here. We want to do well, we do. We want to make people proud. The support can be felt, and we know what this can do for the nation, and anything that can be done, we're doing.
And what will be your last words to the team in the tunnel?
God knows. Confident, believe in what we can do, and now's the time.
Ian Wright, Lee, was of the opinion that he was a bit too pumped up before the Italy game. He said you want a more calming presence at the back from a goalkeeper.
Well, I think he's going off Dave Seaman. I think his experience and mine of Dave Seaman is the exact opposite. He's kind of, Dave's like, yeah, well, OK. You know, I'll save it. And he was a real calm influence behind you. Never shouted, you know, anything, obscenities or anything. He was just behind you and you knew he was there. He had a presence about him without shouting. But Joe's a different character. Yeah. I think he's a really, really good goalkeeper. Yes, he makes the odd rash mistake, but show me a goalkeeper who doesn't. I think as he gets older, those mistakes will be less and less. But I certainly wouldn't have any problem playing in front of him, that's for sure.
He came through his blip as well, Gus. You're always going to have a blip, and the important thing is to deal with it.
I think it's normal. You cannot play always at the same level. It's impossible. So it was always a moment that maybe we have a blip in there. The thing is how you react and how quick you react, and I think he reacted very well.
So do you want your goalkeepers sort of raving mad, waiting to get out there, or just, come on then, let's go?
Well, as Lee just said, everyone's different how they prepare. We had Terry Butcher, who used to frighten the life out of us, as well as the opponents in the channel. You know, he was absolutely amazing, Terry. He used to smack the wall, headbutt the wall, all sorts of things to put him off. And no, I think he's matured. He's had a wobble in the season. The best thing that happened to Joe was being left out. His manager leaving him out. He responded in the best way, a professional way, and his performances have gone up. And at the moment, he's head and shoulders above everyone.
I like when the goalkeeper says, shout, OK, let's keep the ball, let's be brave on the ball. Because they don't have it. You get the ball, come on, get on the ball.
Lee, earlier Glenn showed us what he thought England did well but could do better when got the ball. What about when England haven't got the ball?
Well, there was a few concerns the other night without the ball, but we're playing a very good side in Italy. I thought some of the positions they got in, some of the closing down. Again, I think sometimes, because I know it's hot and Manaus was difficult, but sometimes I think the back four just relied on that position and saying, we're OK here, but we weren't OK because they were getting in really dangerous positions.
I think the key to that, as you've said there, really, but it's a simple key for me, is the distance between your two centre-halves and your first line of press, your first man that's going to press, say it's Sturridge or whatever. I think that Rooney and Welbeck as well came in to defend, and when we had the ball at times, but defensively came too close in, and that allowed the 2v1s against our fullbacks.
The teams will be out very soon. Coming next, we'll hear just what representing their country at a World Cup means to some members of the England squad.
You want to do your best you can to make yourself proud, your family and the fans, and that's what you set out to do, and that's why we give everything we can to do that.
And I'm always confident in our team, I'm always confident in how we play. I'm not worrying about Uruguay, I'm not worrying about anyone.
Tough game now against Uruguay, and we have to go and try and get them 3 points.
We've got the ability, we've got the firepower. We can win the next two.
England's welcome adventure. Born to the shirt.
Check me out, though. Look. It's cops to dodge in the city of God to reach the goals of these soccer stars. It's records to break, medals to take, flags to wave. The city is ours. Its only lights is those from a beamer. It's nice to pray in front of Christ the Redeemer. Whom shall I fear? It's foretold by Kalorjado. Most Bronx tales don't end well, especially when your own country treats you like an infidel. I am Godzilla of these favelas. New car.
48 years since England ruled the world. Hopes are as high as ever.
Less than 15 minutes to kick off in Sao Paulo. England's World Cup hopes hinge on tonight's clash with Uruguay. How are the nerves, folks? Let's see how Andros is bearing up. He's with Matt.
Yeah, welcome back. It's noisy here, as you can imagine. Not long to go till kick-off. These last minutes before a game, warm-up's nearly over. What's going through a player's mind, Andros?
Well, as soon as the warm-up's over, you go into the change room, and while you're getting your pads on, you're really thinking about the game. You're going through what you're going to do and how you're going to play it. The managers re-emphasising the set pieces, making sure everyone knows their jobs, and you kind of really start to get your links. The left back start talking to the left winger, the two centre midfielders start discussing the strikers, and then you're just kind of really pumping yourself up and getting ready for the match.
And I imagine as much as you want to concentrate on your job, you don't want too many thoughts in your head, do you?
No, you just got to focus on your own game. You know how well you can play, you know what you've got to do out there, and it's kind of, you're just really reminding yourself to get yourself ready to go out there.
And how much will we hear from the manager, will the players hear from the coaching staff in that last period?
Yeah, I think the last 10 minutes he'll just be continuously just reminding players, going over everything they've discussed, and the players are just really getting themselves ready while they listen to the manager.
How are you feeling? Confident?
Fairly confident. I think we'll do the job against Uruguay and take it to the last match.
Fingers crossed, boys. Fingers crossed.
Well, there are those amongst you who occasionally get cynical about modern footballers. Do they care about England as much as fans of England? The answer, as this little film will demonstrate, is an emphatic yes.
I just started playing football because I loved it. Just having fun and playing with my friends and not really worrying about what level I could get to.
I'd never have thought I'd be able to play in the World Cup. It's a dream come true.
I always dreamt. Not until a year ago I didn't think this was ever possible.
I remember seeing Tony Adams.
I remember seeing Ashley Cole.
I remember seeing
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen. Unless you want Michael Owen as the same answer, then there's no point answering that one.
Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, players that are still in the team now, which is a bit surreal for me because they're the players that I grew up watching.
When I play for England, I think of my parents, brother and sister, my granddad who watched me a lot, my two grandparents who I've lost who were incredibly supportive of me as a young boy trying to play football, and they're probably the two people I hope are proud of me.
Everyone that's brought me through the academy to play for Everton.
My mum and dad, and they were the ones who finished work early to take me to training in London every night, and you know it was difficult for them.
My mum and dad. Seeing me almost not become a professional footballer and then seeing me play for England, so it's definitely my mum and dad.
I think this World Cup represents a great opportunity for the squad to go and do something special in one of the hams of football.
Every time you put the shirt on, you know, you're representing your country and you've got to go out there and fight for every ball.
Everyone in the squad has worked their whole career to try and be the best they can be and to try and perform on the best stage they can possibly perform on, and there's no bigger stage than the World Cup.
I almost wish we hadn't shown that. I was feeling quite calm before. Now I'm just desperate for them to do it.
That was a great piece, because I think, you know, footballers, when they're doing interviews, are very guarded about stuff. They have to protect their sort of their own self, and because you're afraid of making mistakes, etc. You don't want to say too much, but certainly you got to know the players a little bit there. I thought it was a brilliant piece. They were personable. You got a feeling that they really meant what they said, and hopefully they carry that, I'm sure they will, out onto the pitch and perform like we all expect them to and win the game.
And a very proud night. I'd be very proud if I was from Merseyside. We haven't half got a lot of Scousers playing for us, haven't we? So brilliant to see that.
Yeah, I think the main thing is to see the difference between when you play for your club, which is, the club is paying your wages, how you become a supporter. When you play for your country, it's your family involved, it's your friends, it's everybody, you know, tension before the game and after the game, and they really want to be proud of yourself.
Glenn, I think it's fascinating listening to them, how one generation begets the next. So a lot of their inspiration, because they're so flipping young, was your '98 World Cup side.
A lot of them said
Michael Owen.
yeah, and the influence that has. I remember that as a player myself from World Cups, watching the Cruyff turn. You know, that first time Cruyff did his turn in '74 was amazing. And I think that they've spoken from their emotions, how they really felt in that piece. And that's what happens. Gus is absolutely spot on there. And when you're playing for your country, everything comes into it. The emotional side with your family. You're representing your country, but you're representing actually your family. It's a wonderful feeling to walk out with that badge on. It really is. I've managed to do it, manager and player, and it's a very proud moment, I've got to say, in your life.
I suppose it's a sobering thought for any 5 or 6-year-old who might be watching now. They're going to be playing for England in 10, 15 years' time. These boys have got to be their inspiration.
Well, you know, the ball boys walking out with them, they're perfect example. The ball girls, you know, looking up to the players, etc. It's just, this is what the World Cup's all about, and I'm really looking forward to this game.
OK, let's go to our commentators then for Uruguay versus England in this crucial clash. Andy Townsend and Clive Tilsley.